Welcome to the next video. First off, we're going to look at this here plain ordinary simple design. Well, it's simple for everybody else, but it's not simple for me because the way I made this design, it's not an arrow in this design. The design is actually, I put the M up here, okay, and then inside this M, I showed the N right over here. The N only takes up half of the M. So I do it backwards. On this side, I create the N backwards. I go here, I go here, I go here. So I need the forward backwards to work. So therefore, I need Russia using their letters. And M and M's coming together will create this design. So we'll do it again. N can be done in a single square. M cannot be done in a single square. M must spread out. M gets the 135, 135, 270 opening. It creates inside the two ends together, upside down, reverse of each other, to show separation between the two sides. N and N equaling to 28 will equal to M13. 41 DNA, and it will create the letter E. The letter E as in signal sigma, and I call that signal testing, and E out the other way. Electric in, electric out. The receiver and the power. I was thinking of something, that one of the reasons we can't use the Tesla energy thing, one reason they stopped it is, imagine this. Just have an imagination. Okay, this is not a good thing to write on, but just have an imagination that we take all the energy from the sun and we use it on Earth, pulling more and more and more energy from the sun, and then the sun explodes. And then what happens? The trick of the Earth is over, because we think we're running with only one sun generator when there's a backup generator to this sun. God doesn't create just one sun. There has to be a backup generator. Now we're going to get on to the next level. Okay. In the next level, 92, we worked on numbers, the numerological count for numbers. Add up to N, M, R, S, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 32. So we break time at the freezing point. This is number 1 that we're going to do. Next thing I want to do is I want to talk about what we spoke before. The word 10 is 39. 13, okay, will create DC. It will also create 68. 68 is what we did 2 pages ago. In fact, we have to keep going forward and backwards with how we got to 68. And 68 happens to be the ticket. 29, 14, 25. 25, B&E, breaking and entering, extraterrestrial. ET, Earth time, electric. 20 becomes 26, becomes alternate current. 11 and 3 is the red ball. 3, they're both the red ball. Win a big red sun. 2 and 3 is creation. 5 is the total. 29, the Venus 911 entry to the freezing point. 5, 2 and 5, breaking and entry again. Add up the first 2 letters. Add up the second 2 letters. Add up the third 2 letters. T and I equals to 29. Add 3 equals to 32. Add 11 equals to 43. The DC world to the sun heaven. The total count is 68. DC, AD, the AD system, the sun suit system. We have to put on a suit to come into this world. The pH creates the key. 293252, Earth's quarter. Low count, 23. High count to this number, 68. 68 and 23 is 91. Minus it, it's the passage inside the sun. 8 and 11, 2300 hours. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 will equal to 11. 8 and 3 equals to 11. And 2. And in one of the last videos we saw in roulette, 8 is 1 above 11. 8 over 2 and then 5 and then 8. 2, 5, and 8 come together to create the 3 worlds of 1, 4, and 7. The spirit, the pass, and the gateway. We already spoke about how L is worth half that means at the same time we have to understand that the O letter was the other part that makes up the other half, because they are the reverse alphabet. Oh my God. Oh my God. We run the DC world, which also runs X and X, Roman numerals 10 and 24. The AD system, the DNA system of the sun. The queen, she goes in all directions. She moves as far as she wants to go before she takes you off and risks her life. The king has one move, dead or alive. So this is now my high count of 68. This 68 is also a representation of whatever it can do, because 68 is also a representation of high. It is the separation of the gateway, because upside down it says 89. So this is give me the ticket. Give me the ticket to Earth, the red sun, the IT system, and the birth. Give me a brain that I can use the mind of the system. Just a whole lot of numbers, right? On this area over here, I'm showing only the numerological count for the first letter. Everything we've done over here is we're going with AND, land, band, sand, and we did this already. Inside sand, we get the gateway. Inside sand, we get the church. Inside sand, we get the red sun. Inside sand, we get 76, the spirit of the half-life. So right away, you know that when you bring the queen in hit and you have the half-life, you have the cube that is on 1 and 6. When you have the cube that is on 1 and 6, the 1 comes with 8, the 6 comes with 3. You get 3 and 8, the church, which creates 2, and 7, and now you create the red sun. You minus it, you get 5 and 5, and you get 7 times 6, 7 plus 6 equals 42 and 13, 55 to the alternate current or the alternate world. 63, 8 minus 3 is 5, 6 minus 1. 8 and 3 is 11, 1 and 1 is 2, 6 and 1. 7, 11, the gateway. That is your key, and these are the basic numbers telling you this. Now we're going to go on, and we went inside this page. So when we run in this page, we have Dandy is now the sun in the cube. We have land, alternate current. 18, Raish is in this land. The hand, the I worlds. Now I have to understand what R and I and red sun win and create a big red sun. Are you creating something within your mind? Inside ENT is the word 10, entity or 10. And I did this in a video where entity has the IT system and ending it with T or TY, like in the word 8, ending in TY brings in the passageway. In these words, let me move this over. In bent, it is the DNA. Now, what has been bent? Okay, what has been bent? In cent, you have 42. Now, the cent has a value of 5 and 10. Now, I'm going to show you something. Now, what I'm going to be doing in the next part of this video is trying to understand this scenario. Okay, in this scenario, the reason we always see this, okay, is because it has to do with the separation and the church. Let's say it's the mouse eyes sniffing out where's the cheese, right? And all these whiskers is because there's two sides. When you say 0, am I actually going, and this side is, do you take up these two sides, and this is the half and half of each side. So 0 is an overlap of 1. It's on top of it. Okay, I just put something on top of it. Now it is part of it, or it's like cutting out the center of the pie, depending how you want to look at it. Now we're going to look at it in a different fashion. We're going to start as 0 as having its own space. So if 0 has its own space, let's call that total space 1. I'm presuming that everything works in halves and even in quarters, but you need 2 quarters to create one part of a half, right? More this way than anything. X marks the spot, and then we run from here to here, and that is your area. Now you need at least 3 of them to get 2 spots. Do you follow what I'm saying? You need at least 3 of them because you need to find the middle of these 2 areas. And when you create this design, you get 2 Ds pointed together, and because the X comes across, you end up creating something like this, the R world, resident angel. When you bring this back, you now have the divided world. Anyways, we're going to come down here where we go 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals to 6. 1 times 2 plus 3 equals to 6. There's only one other number that will do that, and that's 2. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 equals 4 and 4, 6 and 6 to 10, 10. Of what I always talk about, you minus, you get 22 to life. 6 minus 4 is 2 and 2. 6 plus 2 is 8. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 and 8 is from Pluto we come. 1, 2, 3, 4 multiplied will equal to 10. And added 24 and 10, X Roman numeral, X alphabet, 3 and 17. Spirit of the coming gateway, the queen, the cube, the sun, the passage. 10 will now create 16. We now automatically get 40. I'm not going to go below 10. I'm only going to go above 10. 3 and 3, 10, 10. 3 to the left, 3 to the right. From here to here is 1 to 2 to 3. When you add up 1, 2, 3, 4, it equals to 10. When you add in the fifth number, it equals to 10 and 15. 6 and 1. Spirit of the half-life shows up right here on 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D. Michael Jackson might have had it right? 5, 10. 5 from 10 is 15. 5 and 10 is 15. And here we go, we get to the other side. Once we get to the other side and we add up 6, 7, 8, and 9, okay, that'll equal to 30. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 will equal to 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the difference of that 40 is 25. And 25 is a key to breaking into this world. Now, every time you add 5, you will be adding 25. From 41 to 45 will be 65, okay? And it'll be a representation of the white world, the gateway, the heavens, because all those words I just mentioned have to do with 65 and its creation of the ADDNA DAN. That's exactly what it does. In this scenario over here, okay, in the last one you saw me doing the M. In this one, this area becomes 41. This area becomes 23. This area over here becomes 87, and this one becomes 69. 3 times this becomes this, but not 3 times this. 69, right? This is 3 times this, but this is not 3 times this. When I'm at it, it becomes 8 and 3, the church. When I minus it, it becomes 4 and 6. That is your X factor. Now, I can say a lot of things. 4 and 6 stands for the 10 worlds. It's also communication. 10-4, Roger Rabbit, I got my ears on. At the same time, 41 from this is 46. So now they're both 46. 46, 46, 10, 10. This will equal 1. This will equal 5. Mars. This will equal 6. This will equal 5. F, electronic face, man. 11. 1 and 1 of each world. 4, 5, and 6 is the definition, right? The federation. What we could and can't do with 0, 1, and itself. We end up with 1, 9, 3, 10. Artificial intelligence, alternate current, rotation. 2 worlds. 2 worlds. All these have 0, 1, 0. Levi jeans. The gateway. Earth. The 10-cent piece, where 2 nickels come together, smaller because they run over the 2 nickels, where we get Mars, where we get the spirit of 76, the half-life, where we get the gateway, all inside 4, 44, 44. And right now, as the President of the United States, Donald Trump, okay, is the 44th president. He is everything they need to connect this. H honors I, the 89 world. 613, the law. 39, the law of 10. 60 on the clock. 30, half the clock of creation. Of 90, the birth. Of 91, the spirit. Of 93, the skies of Saturn. Of 78, where we bring 1 corner entry from the I and the H. Where 17 and 18 is Raish, where it is the queen. Where it brings in 7 and 8, which brings us into Mars, DNA Mars passage. Now 6 okay, is what happens to 7 and 8. Because in the 6 card, the 7 card, and the 8 card, all we get is an extra dot for this and an extra 2 for that, bringing in the moons Earth and Mars together. One Earth moon, 2 moons of Mars, 2 moons of Pluto. 212, 100 Celsius, 212 Fahrenheit. I made it this way. I wanted to. It should actually be 190 plus 22. Right? Isn't that the way we would do it? Take 20%. Take 20% off of this. This will become 232. 232. Right? 100 Celsius is double it. Add 32. Take 20%. So we get 232. Take away 20 is 212. We can have 180. We can have 190. We have, let me do this again. We have 200 minus 20 is 180. So we can count that as 180 and then add on the 32 if we want to do it that way. So let's not do it this way. But we all know that R18 brings along 19. They're the opposite corner, 1 to 18, 19 to 36, first and last. One is in the house of 1, 4, and 7. The other end is in the house of 3, 6, and 9, where 1 is relevant as an opposition to 6, whereas in the center of 3 and in the center of 9, the birthright. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Bring me out more and say it as it is. Let the numbers talk in words, and you tell me another story, and I'll listen.